This is Shoppe Keep. I'm Eustace the Monk. I know it's pronounced shop, but shoppy sounds funny, Shoppe Keep. It sounds silly. Well, I guess there's no room for silly in YouTube, so shop it is. Anyhow, this one dropped a week or so ago. It's brand fucking new to early access. Basically, you run a fantasy medieval retail store and sell various weapons and pieces of armor and wizard hats and potions and all other adventure garbage. Adventure garbage that the adventurers need to go do adventures and be adventurers. They need to get their adventure garbage from somewhere, and you're going to sell it to them. It's a frighteningly good retail simulator. And a little about myself. I've had 4 careers in my life, the first being a manager of a retail store in a mall. And this game is shockingly accurate in some things. Not the selling magic doodads or mana potions or things like that, but for example, you're essentially a prisoner of the store. It looks like a big open world out there, but you can't leave. Shoppe Keep simulates this by literally not allowing you to leave the store. You just can't get out. Also, once the shop is open, you can't close. You're trapped in an open store that any slug can come and go as they please. The customers are the biggest hogs you've ever seen. Look at the amount of filth they're tracking in. It's just unreal. All the customers look the same, just like they do after you've worked retail for many years. The customers throw things and call you an asshole, and they'll shoplift. Except for in this game, you can murder the shoplifters. That's right. If you've ever worked retail and fantasized about murdering shoplifters, then this is the game for you. Anyhow, you start the game with a store full of fixtures and plenty of gold to buy stock. You can fill your store full of merchandise and make money. There's a fair amount of selection of the merchandise you can stock your store with. But don't get too used to it. It's just the first scenario to show you what it's like to be further in the game. After a while, a whole mob of barbarians come and smash the place up, and it's a fight that you're guaranteed to lose. Then after that, you're in the real game, starting from the bottom and working your way back up. You start with a crappy little store and are only able to sell health and mana potions. You buy low, you sell high, you watch the customers to make sure that they're not stealing, sweeping up after the slugs as they track in all manner of dirt and shit on their shoes. To move on to the next scenario, just meet some basic requirements, like for example, sell 10 mana potions, sell 10 health potions. There's no timer, but you do have to pay a gradually increasing tax, so you'll want to get it done sooner rather than later. Your store fixtures wear out over time, so you'll have to maintain them. As you get further into the scenarios, you can put out new fixtures and build up your store. The cel-shaded graphics are fun. I think it adds a whimsical twist to the game. Particularly the barbarians, with their muscles and chest hair looking like they were drawn on with a grease pencil. The game controls wonderfully with the mouse and keyboard. It suffers a bit from the mouse pointer needing to be on the exact spot to do any good, but the on-screen prompts make it easy to get things done quickly. You're not searching frantically for that one spot just to put a mana potion on the stand. The number keys change what mode you're in, and you go into different modes to accomplish different tasks as the shopkeeper. One is a shopkeeper mode. Put out stock, order stock, that sort of stuff. Change prices, that sort of thing. 2 is cleanup mode, which you'll be using quite a bit. Using your broom to sweep out the flotsam that the slugs drag into the store. Oh, and if you brush the broom up against a corpse of a customer or shoplifter enough times, it'll disappear. Which is pretty handy to know, I think. Cleaning up is pretty important in the game because your store appeal goes down the dirtier the store is, and the more corpses there are strewn about. And people apparently don't like to step over too many dead bodies to buy a health potion. 3 is repair mode. You just hit stuff with a hammer to fix them up, which is news to me, but it works. 4 is combat mode. Left click swings your sword, right click uses your lightning bolt spell. Aiming is pretty tough. It's really easy to kill innocent customers, which also lowers your store appeal. I guess people don't want to visit a store where innocent customers are getting stabbed or fried with lightning bolts. Whatever. 5 is building mode, where you put out new store fixtures and change things around in the store. At this point, there's some things that I would definitely change in the game though. First, I'd make it so that you can close the store to order new stock, or at least pause the game when you bring up the order scroll. Trying to place an order while all the slugs are wandering around the store complaining, it's a pain in the ass. And really, in real life, you'd be reordering after hours anyway. So let me at least just close the store, place my order, reopen the store. If my store's empty, it doesn't really matter anyway, and the timer's still going toward my tax building up, so it doesn't behoove me to keep the store closed very long. Combat is kind of shitty because of the lousy aiming. Make it easier to aim these sword blows. I think maybe highlighting the current target or something when your reticle's on it, that sort of thing. Something to make the combat a little less. I've killed the shoplifter and the dude standing right next to him. While having the customers all look the same is funny for comedic observation about retail work, I think it would add a lot to the game to have people look different. All in all, SHOPPE KEEP is a fun little game, and it's actually showing really good promise. I haven't had any crash to desktops or any bugs at all in the time I've been playing it, and its low price really makes it one to consider in my opinion. It's only $5, and frankly that really helps with the recommendation. If it were $20, I'd say hell no. It's just not a $20 game, but it's pretty fun, and for $5 it's definitely worth it. I'm curious to see what direction they take it in. I definitely recommend it.